Will your retirement savings be enough? If you're lying awake at night wondering if you have enough to retire comfortably, you're not alone. Many Australians are facing the same uncertainty, especially with the rising cost of living and the ever-changing financial landscape. You also might be thinking, I don't earn enough, or I'm going to need $1 million or more. It can feel a bit overwhelming, right? But what if I told you there's a way to take control and understand what is actually possible for your future? Retiring with $1 million isn't as far-fetched as you might think, even if you have an average super balance and are on an average income for your age. In this video, I'm going to share a roadmap to retiring a millionaire, even if you feel like you're starting too late or you don't think it's realistic for your situation. Because it's not about how much you have right now, but what you can do from this point forward to make the most of your remaining working years. Stick around to the end as well, because I'll run through how far $1 million will actually get you in the future economy, whether it's even necessary to having a comfortable retirement. Let's get into it. The first thing to understand about achieving $1 million retirement is this. It's not just about your age or income. There's a much bigger factor at play. It's the way we think about money. We often believe that only those with high salaries or lucky windfalls can achieve financial freedom. But that's simply not true. Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, once said, "The biggest economic misunderstanding of my childhood was that people got rich from high salaries." And he's right. Earning a high salary is great, but it only takes you so far. To truly build wealth, you need to put the money you earn to work for you. That's where we consider owning assets like your home, your super, and other investments. They allow your money to grow significantly over time with less effort, even while you sleep. And in today's world, with advancements in technology and finance, the avenues for growing your money this way are more accessible than ever before. It means a path to serious wealth is open to all, regardless of age, income, or even financial skills. Naval Ravikant, a successful entrepreneur and investor, explained this well when he says, "Wealth is not a zero-sum game. This means that one person's financial success doesn't take away from the others. When we invest in ourselves, our businesses, and our communities, we all benefit." The mindset is crucial for anyone who wants to retire a millionaire. It's not about competing with others, it's about growing the pie for everyone, including yourself. So even if you're starting to think about this later in life, it's not too late to change your financial trajectory. No matter where you are on your journey, I believe $1 million retirement is possible. So let's start to break down how it can be done. Time to see how the numbers might actually look. In this example, we're investing just $100 a week into an asset like a stock, ETF, or superannuation that provides an 8% return each year. If we do that, as simple as it sounds, you'll reach $1 million in 36 years. Now you might be thinking, 36 years, I don't have that kind of time. This is just an example to show you the powerful saving and investing can be starting from scratch. It's $0. Notice how at first the blue bars, your personal contributions, are doing most of the heavy lifting, but as time goes on, something amazing starts to happen. The lighter blue bars start to take off. That's the interest you're earning, or the 8% per year, growing over and over. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill, getting bigger and faster as it goes. That's compound interest in action, your money making more money over time. This simple calculation is to highlight how what you do with your money is just as important, if not more so, than how much you earn, and how making intentional choices to invest in assets will help you grow your money with little ongoing work over time. For someone new to the workforce, consistently saving in superannuation can be a straightforward path to $1 million nest egg. But what if you're 35, 45, or even 55? How can you possibly catch up on the time needed to retire comfortably, even with an average income and super balance? Don't worry, the dream of $1 million retirement isn't out of reach. The path might look a bit different at various stages of life, but there's a key milestone that you can accelerate your progress, regardless of your age, and that is reaching your first $100,000. This achievement, whether in your super, a stock portfolio, or ETF, is a game changer, whether you've already hit that mark or still working towards it. It might seem like just a number, but it's psychological and a financial turning point towards retirement. And it also might help explain why you feel like building something like $1 million seems so impossible. Let's look at this calculation to help explain why. Here, we're aiming to save $100,000, starting with nothing in our investment account, assuming again an 8% annual return, and adding just $400 each month consistently, we hit $100,000 in a little over 12 years. And of that amount, over $40,000 of pure profit from the power of compound interest. So why is this first $100,000 such a big deal? because once you reach it, everything shifts. Your money starts working for you even harder and faster, generating returns that accelerates your progress towards $1 million. It's the moment you unlock the true power of compound interest, where your wealth begins to snowball. Let's revisit our example of investing $100 a week for 36 years. It will take you 12 years to save the initial $100,000, but going from $100K to $200K takes just 6 years, and the one after that, even less. This momentum builds until you're cruising from $900,000 to $1 million in under 18 months. The first $100,000 is like pushing a boulder up a hill. At first it's a struggle, you're wondering if the pain's all worth it, but once you reach the top, the boulder starts rolling downhill, effortlessly gaining speed and momentum. And that's precisely what happens when you hit that $100,000 mark. Your investments start gaining traction, growing faster and faster. Now, you also might be thinking, is there a way to reach the top of this hill sooner? Absolutely. While consistent savings is essential, there are a few shortcuts you can consider, such as downsizing your home and freeing up some equity, or using the windfalls that you receive over time, such as inheritances, tax refunds, or bonuses, to top up that balance of money you are building. Even if these aren't options for you, don't be discouraged. Reaching $100,000 is achievable through consistent saving and smart investment choices. And even then, the rewards go well beyond the money. For one, it's a huge psychological boost, proving what you can achieve with discipline and smart financial habits. It gives you flexibility, a safety net for the unexpected, a springboard for your dreams, or just simply some peace of mind. And once you've done it, you know what it takes to do it again, making you more resilient to life's financial ups and downs. So while that first $100,000 seems a long journey, if you're yet to get there or you've already made it, it's a critical step on your journey to financial freedom. But what does hitting that $100,000 milestone actually mean for your $1 million retirement? How can someone with an average income or a modest super balance actually hit any of these goals? Let's look at some real data to see how everyday Australians just like you could build $1 million retirement nest egg no matter where you're starting from. I'm going to mock up a few scenarios for different age groups using some average incomes and super balances to show you what's possible. Here's the data I'm going to be using. For ages, I'll focus on a 35-year-old, 45-year-old, and 55-year-old. For average super balance, I'm going to get that data from the ATO, taking the median super balance, which is the lower of the two between that and the average. I'll also average the balances of men and women to provide a single figure for each age group. Average income, I'll reference the ABS data on average weekly earnings by age group, converting it to an annual income. Super contributions, which are guaranteed by your employer. I'll assume a 12% super guarantee rate here, which is in line with regulations from July 2025. Remember, these are just averages and your individual situation will vary, but the goal is to show that even with average resources, $1 million retirement is within reach. I'll share links to the data and the calculators I'm using all in the description below. You can play along at home with your numbers, but all you need is to enter the calculations like so. Start with your target amount, which is your retirement goal. So in this case, $1 million. Then a starting point, which you can input your current super balance. But I'm going to use the average for the 55-year-old as an example. You can put in your own numbers. The annual return, I'm going to assume an 8% annual return, which is a reasonable long-term average for a diversified portfolio, especially through an industry super fund. Then monthly contributions. So calculate 12% of your annual salary and divide that by 12. For example, 12% of $91,000, which the average 55-year-old is earning, is $10,920 per year or $910 per month. Hit calculate. There we can see our target date hits 17.3 years. So that takes our 55-year-old to 72 and a bit years old. I've already done the other calculations and you can see the likely ages you'll be reaching $1 million at least in your super account. A 35-year-old reaches $1 million in super by age 57 and a 45-year-old reaches $1 million in super at age 64. Remember, this is just an estimate and your actual results could vary based on market conditions, your investment choices, as well as what you are earning at work. Now, if you're 55 or older, retiring at 72 might not sound ideal. The good news is that you have options to accelerate your progress. While time and compound interest are powerful tools, there are strategies to supercharge your $1 million wealth building. You can, of course, increase your contributions, consider a salary sacrifice to boost your super balance while enjoying some tax benefits. In the example of the 55-year-old, doubling contributions could shave 3.5 years off the timeline to $1 million. Then there's high returns, something you can't necessarily bank on, but if you get a 10% return instead of an 8%, that could shave off another 2.5 years. You can also adjust your target. If you don't think $1 million is what you need, you can potentially reduce the amount in your goal to say $750,000 and shave a few more years off what you need to achieve by when. There's also some additional considerations or opportunities you might want to take advantage of, such as making sure you choose low-cost investments, consolidate your super accounts, consider windfalls, invest bonuses, tax refunds, or inheritances to give your savings a boost. Downsize. If you're nearing retirement, selling your home and moving to a smaller property could unlock substantial equity for investing. They're just a few ideas to get you started, but the key is to be proactive, show some urgency, and explore your options that fit your circumstances. While these calculations focus on super, remember that your retirement income can come from multiple sources: super, age pension, and personal saving. It's about building a holistic plan for retirement income. I'll go through this in another video on how it all works here in Australia. For now though, let's address the elephant in the room. Is $1 million even enough in today's world? With the rising cost of living and inflation, it's a valid concern. According to the Association of Superannuation Funds of Australia, or ASFA, a couple currently needs around $690,000 in super for a comfortable retirement today, assuming they retire at 65, own their own home, and collect the age pension from 67. How would that look though in the future? Well, in 10 years, if we consider an inflation rate of 3%, that same comfortable lifestyle could require you having over $927,000 in your super balance. And in 20 years, it could jump again through inflation to you needing over $1.2 million. Remember, the key is to not fixate on a specific number, but to create a retirement plan that aligns with your individual needs, goals, and realities of inflation. Now that you know retiring a millionaire is potentially within your reach, even if you're starting a bit later, there's one more crucial step you can take. To truly maximize your retirement savings, you need to understand the best ways to contribute to your super. So if you're ready to unlock the secrets of super and accelerate your journey to financial freedom, click on the link on your screen to watch my next video, The Best Ways to Contribute to Your Super.